The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah, go Cowboys! This is Mick Shots, streaming live on DallasCowboys.com and the official Dallas Cowboys app. Now, here are Bill Jones, Heckma Harrison, Everson Walls, and Mickey Spagnola.
It's time for another week of football here at the Star in Frisco, inside the SWBC podcast living room.
That's what it is.
Bill
It
Jones,
feels like.
Everson Walls, Heckma Harrison, and Mickey Spagnola. This is Mick Shots.
We need a card table right here, guys, so I can be whooping up on y'all and talking at the same time. If we're going to sit like this.
Right.
Yeah.
What finger were you holding up back there? I wasn't sure.
Index. Index.
We're number one, right?
That's right.
That's right. Hey,
Hey.
it's time to get started on an The Cowboys kick-started.
Okay.
They kicked off the offseason in a very big way over the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get into that. We'll get into the scouting combine in Indianapolis, where live shots are emanating right now as I watch on the monitor over there on the NFL Network. And there's a lot of people.
Empty to me.
Well, you know what's empty?
What?
This parking garage parking lot.
Isn't that weird?
There's a lot of people here that are either aren't at work today or maybe they're in Indianapolis. I'm not sure.
Is that what it is?
Oh, there might be 5 or 6 people here that aren't here.
It was easier.
I didn't see the cops.
It was easier finding a
It's
parking
nice to
space
have all
today.
4 people here, though.
Yes, it is.
It's nice to have a parking place.
Did you have a nice week in New Orleans?
I did.
Is
Hey,
that
I
where you
guessed
went?
it.
No, I didn't go to New Orleans. No.
Oh, I thought I
No,
guessed it.
No.
I figured you were at the HBCU week.
No, man. That's good.
That's right.
Stuff.
We went back to last Tuesday, Everson, and you texted us at 8. Let's see, we were on at 9 o'clock on Tuesday. You texted us at 8:20 on my drive in. And you know who got here by 9:05?
Who?
Nate in Frisco.
There you go, baby. Way to go, Nate.
Tore the highway
Way to
down
go,
here.
Nate. Yeah, right.
But he had a story to tell.
And then he tore up the show.
He did?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Story to tell.
Yeah. We talked about his pardon, his presidential pardon.
Oh, man. That's too funny. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Now Nate can vote. I'm sure that's what was holding him back.
Yeah.
He
All
just
right.
better vote right. That's all I got to say.
Or in your case, vote left.
That was
All
a
right.
good one. Hey, that was a good one. I like that.
That was good.
Thank you. Before we get into football, I know Mickey wants to get into one other thing.
Uh-oh.
What's that?
That's what happened on Sunday morning.
Who got up at 7 a.m. to watch
I watched it.
gold medal
I
hockey
watched it.
game?
Gold medal hockey. Yep.
Men and women.
Men and women.
Yeah.
It was almost like the whole game was sudden death. I don't know if I've seen a hockey game where every possession or
Intense.
whatever happened with
Intense.
the puck, you had to pay attention.
Yeah.
Couldn't sit there and look at your laptop or your phone. Every possession counted. It was amazing.
I didn't know we were that good in hockey.
Well,
There are NHL players playing. So
Yeah.
Yeah, but that don't mean
well,
it's
it was
USA.
NHL against
Right.
the NHL.
NHL. Right.
I just was disappointed that they played overtime 3-on-3 instead of sudden death.
Right.
Like the NHL, when you get in the playoffs, there's no 3-on-3 in the playoff games. You play sudden death and then turn it into a skills competition.
And I can, how about earlier? There's in the quarterfinal round, 4 quarterfinal games, 3 of them went to
Right.
overtime.
Yeah.
Were you okay with 3-on-3 in that round, or
I
is
just
it a
think-
case where you get to the finals and
Yeah, I
go
think
ahead
when
and
it's
play it
playoff hockey like that, maybe the round robin.
Kind of like with the NFL, you play like a regular game.
Yeah, just play a regular game.
But they still want to play it like amateurs, right?
Well, they're not acting like amateurs.
I mean, that's where it started off, right?
It's allegedly.
The miracle on ice.
yeah, that
back
was
to-
that was amateur
Right.
Yeah.
against the professional.
Right.
Yeah. That was.
But they,
By the way-
but they still go by the same rules, even though
Yeah,
they've changed the format.
the Netflix has a great documentary on that game,
The Miracle on
The
Ice.
Miracle on Ice. I tell people and they go, well, I saw that movie. I said, this is not a movie. It's a documentary. They brought 19 of those guys back to Lake Placid for interviews, recent, it was really good. If you haven't seen it.
On Netflix?
Never before seen footage that was one
Locker
of the
room, coaches.
So
they explained how the Cold War made that even more dramatic.
Oh, yeah.
Because we were still, battling Russia.
No doubt.
the height of it.
We're not battling Canada. Now, Canada might be battling us. I don't know.
They're battling those tariffs. But, hey, you know what I love about what happened yesterday was how sports finds a way to unify. And, maybe for a day or two, everyone was so happy and proud about the United States winning the gold medal. But also, man, I just want to give a special shout out to Ellen Hughes, mother of Connor Hughes. And
Ellen Weinberg Hughes,
yes,
who grew up in Dallas, by the way.
Born in Missouri, grew up in Dallas.
Had a lot of good things about her.
Obviously, when it comes down to sports and superstar athletes, there's always either a great coach, parents behind those athletes, and in their household, they're probably those brothers are the third and fourth best athletes in their family, knowing that their mother was not even a dual athlete. She's soccer, hockey, and lacrosse in college as well. So, I think all of those things, all the stories that end up coming out in situations like this, but, shout out, to the Olympic team and cleaning up and obviously winning the gold medal. I thought it was big for everybody. And everybody was super excited. I was in Austin this weekend, so got an opportunity to call some lacrosse in Austin. And,
oh, wow. Okay.
And,
branching out to lacrosse now.
Oh,
there's no way.
He's been doing that.
No way I could call it a lacrosse match.
So, come on, guys. Don't be surprised.
Say when they score.
Hey, so the lady that you're talking about, that was the one who was also connected to the 1980 team?
No.
She was the one.
She was connected to the women's. Yeah. She was like a developmental scout for the women's Olympic team.
But she's the mom of two of the players.
Yeah.
Quinn Hughes scored the game-winning goal in overtime. He plays for the Minnesota Wild.
Right.
And he scored the game-winning goal in overtime to beat Sweden in the quarterfinals. And then Jack Hughes, his younger brother, scored the game-winning goal yesterday. The mom, she actually wasn't born here, but got to Texas as quickly as she could. Her father, Dr. Warren Weinberg, was a doctor at UT Southwestern Medical Center, and so she grew up here and as a girl played on boys hockey teams.
Right.
And then she went to the University of New Hampshire.
Yeah. Rough and tough.
My son played baseball, and they had a girl that was a pitcher, and she was really good. Yeah. Boy, you know how embarrassing that is for kids? If a girl strikes you out.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I'm trying to stand on softball. Wait a minute. There are a lot of guys couldn't hit a softball
from these
pitchers.
Kids, the boys going over, I can't let this girl strike me out. I can't let this girl strike me out. That's weird.
And with her, that was long before hockey became really a junior sport in Texas. It wasn't until the Stars got here in the early 90s before the Star Center started popping up and you could actually play hockey. But she was also a dominant soccer player for the Solar Sting or whatever in 1984, one of the best local youth soccer teams ever. And then she went to the University of New Hampshire and met an athlete, and they produced some pretty good hockey players.
That's what I said. Those guys.
3, not 1, not 2, but 3 first-round draft picks in the National Hockey League.
Wow.
DNA counts.
Wow.
Right?
That's right.
Gotta have
That's what I said.
genes.
Third and fourth best in their family.
That's right.
But hey, is there anything relatable for the drought that the U.S. hockey team had to the Cowboys? Everyone's been talking about this, that 46-year drought, and the hockey team felt like always the bridesmaid, not the bride situation. And you finally
Please don't tell me we're waiting 46 years.
No. Bill. What I'm trying to say is there anything relatable to that? Because you have professional athletes that have to put their egos on the shelf for a collective good. And I think you've seen that play out, obviously, yesterday. And also rules changes that also help with the 3-on-3. And it not going until, 5 or 6 overtimes, as many people have complained about that could have done if it had been, just regular hockey.
Well, you have to understand also how many of those 46 years the U.S. was playing with amateur hockey players, not professional.
Yeah.
And
That was
they
what
were
was so
playing,
unbelievable about the 1980 Miracle
yeah,
guys.
because those were all the Russians were all professional. They were playing pro hockey in Russia, and we were
Soviet
playing
Union
with,
at the time.
yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
and we were playing with college kids or high school kids.
Yeah.
So yeah, but go watch the documentary. It'll put everything in perspective, especially since some of those guys have passed away. Some of them look like they're 60-some years old because they would have been, most of them, in their 20s in 1980. Had another 46 years to it. But it was really emotional for those guys because they brought them back to Lake Placid.
Yeah.
And people in Lake Placid knew who they were when they were walking around the streets, too. And they showed the old ice skating rink outdoors where they had the Olympic speed skating on this outdoor rink, by the way, that I actually skated on.
Oh, look at you.
I got sent to Lake Placid before the '88 Winter Olympics, and I said, you know what? I'm renting skates. I'm skating on that oval that was outdoors.
How fast did you go?
I got around.
Okay.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
how many times did you fall?
Yeah, not once. It's ice skating. Come on.
Oh, yeah.
Wasn't
yeah.
racing.
I know what you mean, buddy.
Yeah. Have you ever had skates on?
I have.
You have.
I hated them.
I did too.
Yeah.
I'm hugging the rail.
Never.
Were never the same.
I don't care whether they're ice skates or roller skates. I'm hugging the rail.
Roller skates are a little bit better.
mean-
Ice skates I think they should outlaw it. I'm sorry. For kids and grown men.
You know, when they would do those specials on those guys and how they learned to skate, they were talking about ponds in the backyard and stuff. That's how we all learned to skate.
Right.
The water, the snow would melt. They'd have a pond there that formed in a field. You go out there, put your skates on, and skate.
Plano does that all the time. Yeah.
What? What?
You don't go to Plano and skate?
We actually
Not on a pond.
we actually skated. There was a forest preserve that had a lake, and we went and shoveled off the snow off the ice and played hockey on the lake. Someone asked me, "Were you worried about it breaking?" And we'd go, "We'd sent the heaviest guy out, and when it started cracking,
on,
that was out of
man.
bounds."
Don't even start. Big pudgy.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
All right.
One other thing, and this made me smile. I think just watching Alyssa Liu skate, the women's figure skater that won the gold medal. It wasn't like you're out there pulling for her. She performed so flawlessly, but with such joy that every time I watched her skate, I was just sitting there smiling.
Yeah.
And it was another neat story of somebody at 16 saying, "This isn't my life, I quit," and then starting up again at 20 and wins a gold medal.
And decided she had one goal. She was going to have fun when she did.
Yeah.
I think curling is probably the most misunderstood sport because they call it a sport, first of all.
I watched it.
Yeah.
I still didn't understand the scoring, but I did watch
I just
it.
look at it like, the old man's game,
Shuffleboard.
shuffleboard.
You know who-
Right? Isn't that all it is, right? It's just shuffleboard.
Basically.
You know what? My wife, she practices that sport constantly.
She's an athlete.
We've got one of those. We've got one of those robo vacuum cleaners, the little round ones. And then we got two dogs that track in mud all the time. So she's got that little vacuum going, and then she's got a mop in front of it cleaning the mud off the
That's
tile.
pretty good, man.
When
So
the dogs come in the
She's
house.
brushing it.
Yeah.
I got it. That's funny.
Yeah, come on.
We won that, right? Didn't we win?
I have no idea.
No,
She wins every time. I know that much. Well, we got so much to get to and so little time to do it. Okay. Give us a hint of what you want to talk about next, because we got from the last week even We had a defensive coordinator who talked with the media for the first time. Christian Parker.
Saw him.
Start
We had
there.
a linebacker released on Friday.
Pick it up
had
there.
a running back signed on Saturday.
Yep.
We've got the scouting combine this week. We've got more decisions to be made. Can a kicker be done before free agency starts? Who's going to be a restricted free agent? What's going to happen with George Pickens? How about we talk about all of that when we come back on Mick Shots here in the living room?
Hey, Cowboy fans. Keith Davis here, former Cowboys safety.
Keith Davis into the end zone.
You know what separates champions from the rest? Making the right move at the right moment. With blockchain.com, that's never been easier. The Cowboys became America's team by striking bold when it mattered most. Now it's your turn. Invest like your icons with blockchain.com. Visit blockchain.com/Cowboys today to get started and learn more. That's blockchain.com/Cowboys.
Miller Lite, the legendary light beer. The originator, the inventor. If this beer could talk, it'd tell stories about that one time, that night, that one guy, that one gal. Writing a story 50 years long and 50 million friends wide. Because legendary stories start with a light. Here's to 50 years of Miller Time. Celebrate responsibly. 2025 Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
The National Medal of Honor Museum is now open in Arlington, Texas, just a few blocks from AT&T Stadium. Immersive exhibits and exciting technology allow you to fly a rescue helicopter mission in Vietnam and have conversations with virtual Medal of Honor recipients. Come be inspired by these incredible stories of ordinary Americans who did the extraordinary. Get your tickets at mohmuseum.org.
We've all been there. You hold onto a coupon, hoping to cash it in at the store, but then you forget about it. And suddenly you've got a mountain of useless expired coupons.
Do you think this one's still good? Free milk.
Oh, mate, that expired in 1993.
Dang it.
Fortunately, there are better ways to save money, like by switching to Geico. You could save about $900 on car insurance without ever touching a coupon.
Ooh, how about this one? Half off floppy disks.
Now, you should try a bit of spring cleaning.
It feels good to save big. It feels good to Geico.
Back to Mick Shots.
Auditions for the 2026 Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders opens March 13th. Don't miss your chance to audition for America's Sweethearts. Learn more at DallasCowboyscheerleaders.com/auditions.
All right. Here we are on Mick Shots. Teams, players arriving starting today at the Scouting Combine in Indianapolis. By the way, the on-field drills won't get started until Thursday, I believe. But a lot of interviews taking place. And one of the biggest parts of the Combine are the medical checkups on all the players. Make sure that
that's almost the most important thing that happens.
That's right. Yep.
Because they'll start doing the measurements and then physicals too.
Any injury that you might have had, or they can discover injuries you didn't even realize you had. There's such a thorough medical checkup. So,
man, I remember those days. I don't like everybody knowing what my body's like right now. I don't want you going peeking around off in there, letting everybody know.
I could remember, guys would show up and have something. And I remember talking to Jim Maurer, the Cowboys head trainer, and he goes, I guarantee you, if I put you in a scan, I'd find something wrong with your back. He goes, everybody's got something that they don't know about, right? And, well, who was it, the linebacker from LSU?
Had the neck.
Yeah. Damone Clark.
I was thinking Carter. He didn't know he had that until he went to the combine and they said, oh, you need surgery. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, a lot of guys find something out about them that they don't know. And that's why Indianapolis has been so efficient holding the combine there, because they've got all the medical stuff downtown that participates in this. So it's like not only a combine for workouts, it's a combine for physicals.
That's why they've talked about moving the combine around, because what fans see are the on-field drills and stuff, and you got it in a big stadium, and you could actually have fans come watch or whatever. But the most important thing, as Mickey's talking about, are the medicals.
We got Blue Star Imaging right here.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Taylor, Scott, and White right next door.
Yep.
What are you talking about?
And
Take care of 250.
Do it.
And every city in the country has that too, but it's the familiarity with, okay, this is where we go every year, and so they're all creatures of habit.
Can we stay away from all the guys that have ACLs, anything like that that's going to keep them away from opening day? Can we go into this draft with whichever order we go in, whoever we pick up, guys with no extensive medical?
So you're eliminating the corner from Tennessee.
I'm eliminating anybody that cannot play opening day. Let's do it right now.
Well, the Cowboys don't have a second-round pick.
Right.
So that eliminates
So they
that.
can't
Because
gamble.
every year the Cowboys, that's when they take their
The second and third.
especially a second round. And through the years, it's been like that.
Although Sean Lee was pretty good.
He was pretty good, but he did have an injury history.
Yeah.
So, and I'd still make that pick. All right, so got that going on, but let's get to the headline news from Saturday, and that is a running back has been signed to a multi-year deal, and he was a pretty good running back for the Cowboys last year.
And I think one of the reasons he got signed is he wanted to get signed. And, it wasn't a outstanding deal, but it was, I think, good for him. He'll make more money in 1 year probably than he's made in his 3-4 years in the NFL. 3 years, $24 million, $16 million guaranteed with a $6 million signing bonus. Mm-hmm. So I would imagine with the guarantee, his first year base salary, I bet his first year salary cap hits not much more than $6-7 million, which is a pretty good deal for your starting running back.
Right.
So it's favorable to him, and
he was working on a 1-year, $3 million deal last year.
Right, and a franchise tag would have been $14 million guaranteed. So if they guaranteed him $16 million over 3 years, that's not bad pay for a guy that had one really good year in his career. Anybody disliked it?
I didn't dislike it.
Okay.
Well, no, that didn't sound good.
Right.
I like it.
You like it?
I truly like it. We need consistency. That's kind of what we're going for.
Right.
The change in off season for me is just like the Cowboys getting business, the guys that they prioritize, getting them signed right away. And I think that's a refreshing change around here. I was surprised that Williams didn't test the market to see what his value was. And maybe him and his agent didn't care about that because he loves it so much here in Dallas. So understandably, he took the best deal that was out there, whatever they negotiated. But at the same time, I am surprised at how the running back market has continuously failed over the years. And people talk about devaluing it, and I'm just talking about from a Cowboy sense. It has been a revolving door. I think,
but it's like that nation throughout the entire league.
No, and for real, I mean, I think highest paid right now is Barkley, McCaffrey,
right?
But then everything underneath that, and then you have a guy like Jahmyr Gibbs that's coming up for a deal. And how is Detroit going to deal with that, knowing now that Javonte Williams, they're obviously not finna try and give him that same deal because of the kind of player that he is for them. But I find it kind of interesting. The last 3 years we've had 1,000-yard rushes from Tony Pollard, Rico Dowdle, and now Javonte Williams stepping in 1,200 yards last season. And so, having that continuity and knowing the guy that's going to be there has to be refreshing for Dak, for Shoddy, for all the guys involved,
and for him. He wanted
for sure.
But one of the reasons they got this deal done is he and his agent didn't want to test the market.
And that's what I like.
And that's one of the
he
reasons
wants
why
to be here.
These guys don't get signed early because they want to test what the market value is.
I don't know much about moving around a lot. I only went from Cowboys to Giants, and the Browns thing was at the end of my career. But when you start talking about a little bit of consistency in your career. Consistency in where you're taking your family, what city you want to live in. You can't beat it coming here in Dallas. I'm glad he didn't test the market, but they're treating running backs as if they are, some type of auxiliary player or something like that.
Yeah.
And that is not cool for me. It's been going on for over a decade.
Yeah.
I mean, Tony Dorsett used to be the man. Eric Dickerson used to be the man. All of these names, they built the NFL. I mean, you can go, of course, further back than that, but it all came from the running back position. And now all of a sudden, they're devalued because we can find one anywhere. That's not the case. It's never been the case, but they keep trying to make that case that the running backs are,
That's strange.
It has.
That is.
I think it has to do with longevity, like how long.
There's no doubt.
Because there did a study a few years ago that once the running back hits 28 or more, he's not the same running back, and it's almost like you've got a lease car. Well, lease it until it's up, and then I get another one. And a lot of teams are using 2 running backs too.
And this gets him to age 28, basically. Right. He's a 3-year. He turns 26 on April 25th.
You think that was by design?
Yeah, I mean,
using that data that you know about running backs, and all of a sudden here's your.
You know what? Interesting story. Gil Brandt told me this. So when the Cowboys had the number 2 draft pick in 1975. And it came down to we're either drafting Randy White or Walter Payton. Mm-hmm. And they said, they did a study that the defensive linebacker had a longer career than running backs.
That is crazy.
And that was their deciding factor. They took Randy White, and the Bears 2 picks later took Walter Payton.
Well, all they had to do, they didn't even have to look around the league. All they had to do is look at their own team, and they had Bob Lilly, defensive tackle, who was going on about his 16th year in the league at that time.
Well, they didn't have a running back either, or they had a running back, but.
Yeah, that was a dry spell.
That was a dry spell until Dorsett got here.
Right. All right. So the running back contracts in the league, and where Javonte Williams ranks, he's as far as top 32 running backs, he's right in the middle, about 16th now with $8 million per year. An equivalent contract is DeAndre Swift, Chicago. He's on it's exactly the same, which he becomes a free agent next year, but 3 years, $24 million, $14 million fully guaranteed. Tony Pollard's deal with Tennessee, and now Pollard now is 29 years old. So when he signed this was at age 27. His is a 3-year, $21.75 million deal, $10.5 million fully guaranteed.
And he may get cut because that 3rd year is too big. I read something about
and he's got 1 year left. Yeah.
And that's what happened with those 3-year deals. You dump a lot of base salary into the last year and see, well, what did they do in the first 2 years? And that's usually when the guaranteed money's used up before you get to that 3rd year.
I would imagine if they did another study that everything would change. Because you've got a lot of injuries out there, especially from your interior linemen.
And it's funny. They do studies that fit them
exactly.
and what they want to do.
You want to do a study?
If it was the other way around, they wouldn't publish it and let it be known. But I think that, to your point, what's is interesting is the diminishing value of running backs. And then you look at going to the playoffs and look at guys like Kenneth Walker and the impact that they had on their team and them actually winning the Super Bowl.
Right.
So.
And by the way, he's a free agent.
Yeah, and there's a litmus test there.
Yeah.
Are they going to re-sign him? Are they going to franchise him? Because the running back franchise tag, I believe, is $14 million guaranteed 1 year. So can you afford your starting quarterback or running back and the guy that helped you win a Super Bowl, but might still be the backup at $14 million? Probably not.
Wow.
Yeah, I couldn't even, and in the world, really understand if Walker would be the backup. I know him and Charbonnet, you were talking about the 2-back system that a lot of teams use. Him being a backup. I mean, I thought he took the reins on that job, and Charbonnet just wouldn't go away. Right. He was a home run hitter. Every time you gave him the ball, he was making something happen. So that was the story there. And so even here in Dallas, I even wonder, because just thinking about Javonte's production last season, he wasn't like when you played a guy that's 32 carries a game, we're talking about 14, 15
horse.
max.
We had a horse. We call him a horse.
Right. So that's what's changed about the NFL as well. Guys are just not those four-quarter running backs.
Okay,
I think the only one that did that was Chicago this year.
So let me ask.
Right.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this: are the Cowboys fine at running back right now?
I think so.
Where you've got Javonte Williams, you've got Jaden Blue, 5th-round pick last year. You got Malik Davis. You got Phil Maffa, the 7th-round pick.
Switch that second and third. Yeah. Right.
And then my guy Hunter Lipke.
Well, I think Hunter Lipke is a position all to himself.
That's right.
So
He
you can
turns
just,
red
but H-back.
Every time he mentions Hunter's name,
He smiles. You see that?
He doesn't count.
Right. Only to him.
But to your case with the Seahawks, so with Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet, okay, and Charbonnet 2nd-round draft pick. I mean, both they invested top 100 picks on their 2 top running backs. Cowboys have invested now with Javonte Williams. He was a 2nd-round pick, and it's basically, even with this salary, that's what that says right there. Right. Blue was a 5th-rounder. Malik Davis was undrafted. We've seen glimpses of both of them. I don't think that they're out of the market as far as a veteran free, bringing another veteran free agent in.
I think they almost have to.
Yeah. Kind of like last year.
Not at a
kind of like
big
last
price.
year, they brought in Miles Sanders as well as Javonte Williams.
Right.
You just have to guard against an injury, and especially with Javonte's injury history, you got to make sure that you're covered at that position.
Or you can't sell out with 2 young guys that haven't really played in the league and produced. What happens if Javonte gets hurt? You're going to turn it over to Jaden Blue?
And so what I'm talking about is a veteran minimum deal, something like that, kind of what you had with Miles Sanders.
The way Davis played, that changed my narrative on do we need another?
Absolutely.
I don't think we need another.
I almost forgot about Miles Sanders.
I almost forgot about Hunter Lipke.
No, don't say that. Don't say that. Get that alone.
I just think, we're running back right now. We got him. He wants to be here. He didn't go looking. I like that. Malik Davis, I think that guy is a special talent. He's coming in ready to play at a young age. I like him. I really do. I think he's the one that makes the difference. And then you're talking about a backup in Hunter Lipke who can do all these things. He's your Swiss Army knife, so to speak. I think we're good.
Change of pace. What I saw with Davis. He was a change of pace, completely different. Yeah. And that's what I think teams that benefit from having that 2 running back system, they have guys that are completely different from one another.
And we are using them perfectly.
Yeah.
And now you have a quarterback who's playing the way he's playing, offensive line, got the potential, living up to the potential that they have. I think we're okay there.
What did you say the age on a running back is when?
28.
28. Malik Davis turns 28 in November.
Uh-oh. Pack him up.
The kiss of death.
I mean,
pack him up.
We think of him as being a young guy.
But he doesn't have mileage.
No, he wasn't that old.
He doesn't have mileage on him.
Right.
It's not like a 1st-round pick. He comes in at 22 and 6 years of work.
Bill is about to tear all that down. You just
college free agent in 22. So that means 22. So he's going into his 6th year. He's had some injury history, too. That's the other thing.
Well, as long as we take the load off of him, he's not the carrying this along. Matter of fact, he's the backup.
Right.
I think that's a good spot for him.
Maffa is your between the tackles Javonte backup.
Maffa was the guy that I was in love with.
Everybody was in
out of preseason.
So that's the one. As far as your depth goes, There's your guy. If Javonte goes down, Maffa gets an opportunity,
and he'll step up.
Yeah,
he will step up. He runs hard.
But we got to find out who Jaden is.
Yes.
We got to find out because that is the great unknown as you talk about the depth at running back and whether you're going to bring in, free agency. If this kid is who we thought he was coming out of Texas, then there shouldn't be any need to bring anybody in. But I think there's a ton of doubt over him and no one knows.
He's a Mozzie.
Damn.
I gave him a game.
No.
He's a Mozzie.
The game
Jefferson.
He's a Mozzie.
Wow.
The game.
You gonna react like that? Then let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Damn.
Mozzie never did what Blue did in the final game of the season. You saw his speed, right? And you saw him hitting between the tackles.
I saw him doing that in preseason as well.
And then he got hurt. And then I don't know
And then you
what
saw the
happened
second half of
after
that game.
Yeah.
Right.
Mozzie never had a game where he had 5-6 tackles, 2 for loss, and a sack.
He had that one tackle in that preseason game, remember?
I said 6.
Remember that? It was like the last preseason game, and nobody blocked him. It was like the seas parted, and the back came right to him.
Everson could have made that tackle.
I don't know why I'm laughing at that.
All right, the other bit of news from Friday, Logan Wilson was released.
So they saved his base salary was going to be $6.5 million. I bet that covers.
Yeah, I could have made that decision.
I bet that covers what the first year cost for Williams will be, because they've got work to do. They can't sign Pickens or even franchise him without restructuring Dak's contract, CeeDee Lamb's contract, and probably another contract.
Well, to me, Logan was out of here the moment he had his shoulder pads and helmet standing there on the sideline and didn't play a snap. Mm-hmm. And it was the forgotten man on the defense.
They may have met him outside the locker room.
You think so?
Truly, here, man, here's your stuff. It's all neatly folded.
Met him at the goalpost.
For your service.
Truly, I think that the reason, and they spent a 7th-round draft pick to acquire him.
Mm-hmm. He on fire today.
I truly think that the reason, and people thought that, okay, because of the issues the Cowboys were having at middle linebacker, that, okay, now they got their guy, bring in Quentin Williams and got this guy, and now we're shoring things up for a stretch run here. But he wasn't getting on the field at Cincinnati either, and he was beat out by a rookie. I think he just lost a step. I think it's injuries or whatever. Linebackers, like running backs, they don't last very long. And he wasn't playing at the same level, and that's why that's why he wasn't getting on the field at Cincinnati. But basically what happened was Sanborn got hurt, and he was going to be out the rest of the year, and they needed another linebacker. And so I think that's truly why they made the trade. Right. It wasn't with the idea he's going to – now, they could get lucky, and because they don't fully know their situation, but they do watch film, and they saw that he was playing in Cincinnati like he did here. I mean, sideline to sideline, you didn't see the athleticism that he had earlier in his career.
But if he lost a step, you knew that before he walked in the building.
Right.
And to me,
but that's what I'm saying is – you're bringing him in because you needed to replace Sanborn as insurance or whatever.
But you're thirsty for linebacker talent, especially coming off of last season, and no production.
But not in that not in that capacity. You wanted him to come in. I thought he was going to come in and make some moves. I thought he was going to come in and make a difference in the defense the way Clark and those guys did. I didn't see it at all. Once he hit the field, I was disappointed. I want to see something else.
I think if you went and looked at his tape at Cincinnati earlier in the season, you wouldn't have felt that way about him. And obviously the Cowboys knew that coming in.
Yeah, but they told us something different. Well, that's what I don't like. See,
well,
we were bamboozled.
And sometimes a change of scenery will be.
We were hoodwinked. I'm telling you.
The knock on him in Cincinnati was they didn't like his coverage as a 3-down linebacker, and they went with a younger guy that was faster and quicker. Right. Well, he got here, and there was a reason why they gave up on him. But it was a 7th-round pick for insurance.
Right.
Yeah, now you say that.
But now
last year,
and they also knew his contract that the idea is he's not a long-term player,
right?
But now they need a middle linebacker.
I'm going to start taking everything they say around here with a grain of salt because they had me pumped up about Mr. Wilson. And nothing happened.
No, Jerry said at the time, remember he leaked the news. It was the Monday night game against Arizona, and he was on with some podcast. I can't remember which one. And that's when he leaked the news that we're about to make a trade for a linebacker. And he said,
"You said it just like him."
Yeah, he said. Now let me tell you, he's not Dick Butkus. that was a quote.
He said he's not Leroy Jordan. He could have said so many names. He said he's not Dick Butkus. Wow, who is?
That was a foreshadow.
Yeah, it
was. See, he was honest.
Right.
Wow.
All right, so much more to get to. We ate up that segment.
Yes,
How about that? That was some good stuff. No telling what Mickey's got up his sleeve next and what Heckma has on his laptop, on his lap, when we come back here on Mick Shots in just a moment.
Hey, Cowboy fans, if you're thinking about attending a game this season, visit cowboystravel.com to book your travel package today. Stay at the team hotel, have dinner with a Cowboys legend, and experience the best sports venue in the world, AT&T Stadium. Also, tour the Star, get autographs from your favorite players, and talk X's and O's with me, Mickey Spagnola. The official travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys will take care of all your travel needs. Visit cowboystravel.com to book your package today.
We all do it. You keep singing the wrong lyrics to a song, even though you know they're wrong. You stick with them.
So, what you're saying is, it's I love you, babe, and not lasagna, babe?
Reminds me of how people might be sticking with the wrong insurers. But switching to Geico can get you the right coverage for the right price.
Oh, man. This whole time, I thought Fire in My Heart was referencing the heartburn from the lasagna.
I hate to break it to you, mate.
It feels good to get it right. It feels good to Geico.
Hey, Cowboy fans. Keith Davis here, former Cowboys safety.
Keith Davis into the end zone.
You know what separates champions from the rest? Making the right move at the right moment. With blockchain.com, that's never been easier. The Cowboys became America's team by striking bold when it mattered most. Now it's your turn. Invest like your icons with blockchain.com. Visit blockchain.com/Cowboys today to get started and learn more. That's blockchain.com/Cowboys.
Miller Lite, the legendary light beer. The originator, the inventor. If this beer could talk, it'd tell stories about that one time, that night, that one guy, that one gal. Writing a story 50 years long and 50 million friends wide. Because legendary stories start with a light. Here's to 50 years of Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. 2025 Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Back to Mick Shots.
Lone Star Smokeout is back in Arlington, April 24th through 26th. Watch headliners Riley Green, Shabuzi, Corey Wetzel, and more at this 3-day outdoor country music festival. Please enjoy barbecue from some of the best pit masters in the country. Get your tickets now at SeatGeek.com, the official ticketing partner of AT&T Stadium.
All right, the crew back together. Everson has rejoined us this week here for Mick Shots. And we've covered in the previous segments the news of the week. One other thing before we get into Christian Parker's press conference last week. Next move that the Cowboys should make before free agency starts.
Franchise tag?
Franchise tag is it's a week from tomorrow is the deadline on Pickens franchise tag.
And they also have to either get a contract or give him a restricted free agent tender to Brandon Aubrey. It's kind of important. You'd probably like to sign him to a long-term deal. The 1-year first round you get in return if you don't match a restricted tender from another team, it costs you $7 million.
Okay.
So that's the first you would get a first.
So if you were making the call, you would put a first round tender on his restricted free agent.
Second round's like $5.6 million. So they're about the same as long as you get the right of first refusal. And I can't imagine they would refuse at any cost. But you'd rather have somebody sign your contract instead of having to match somebody else's contract that might put a poison pill in there that you couldn't handle.
Would a team give up first-round draft pick for a kicker?
For this one.
That's what I was going to say.
For this one.
What do you think?
That was the fear on the first-round tender.
Yeah.
And why would you?
Yeah, and all you're saving is $1.4 million, right, between first and second.
I think they'll get a long-term deal.
I think, and he wants to be here.
Right.
Right? He don't want to go anywhere else. Plus,
kickers can kick until they're 44 or 45.
And they like
31.
kicking half of their games indoors, by the way.
Mm-hmm. He will be the highest-paid kicker in NFL history.
Yes. And if not, it'll be a multi-year deal with probably the most signing bonus ever.
Okay.
I liked his career because, at least his season, because you saw in the beginning of the season, the kickers were just, they were all booting it over there and getting the scores in. But at the end of the season, you saw who were the real ones, who were the real kickers that could sustain it at a high level consistently. Because a lot of them started off this year booming it, and then all of a sudden, half the season, kickers became human.
Would you give him the Super Bowl MVP to the kicker?
No.
For field goals?
No, I wouldn't.
Okay.
So here are the numbers on an Aubrey contract extension. The highest paid kicker in the NFL right now is Harrison Butker.
Mm-hmm.
4 years, $25.6 million a year. That's $6.4 million average, $17.75 guaranteed. So it's north of that.
Need to give him $20 million guaranteed.
Wow. Kicker.
Thank you.
That's crazy.
So does it jump?
Mil.
Wow.
So it jumps to 7. The average.
Wow.
Now you're talking guarantee there, but the average at 7 years. So 4 years, $28 million would be $7 million a year.
Yeah.
Lock this up so we don't have to listen to Mick and down in training camp talking about the wind and missing kicks and all of that, man.
I was out there with the kicker, checking
man,
the grass.
We quit watching.
He's throwing
come on, man.
Like
We cannot go
watching.
through another year of that, man.
We used to sit there and mark down.
Yes.
Right?
No,
And this last
he was out there
summer,
by himself.
last summer, we didn't even go out and watch it. Because he made every one of them.
Right.
No, let's just.
So that's an easy deal to do, right?
I would think so. But you got to create the salary cap space first. You know, I keep reading, well, the Cowboys don't sign guys or they've got these things to do. Well, you can't do them until you have salary cap money.
Right.
I don't care if Jerry said we're all in, we're going to break the budget. There's still a budget. And let me explain to you
It
that
still exists.
They will start this salary cap with $24 million dead money for 3 guys: Zach Martin, Trayvon Diggs, and Mozzie Smith are costing them $24 million against the cap right off the start before you get to all the little bits and pieces that you gave guys signing bonus that never made the team.
It almost kills me when I hear that right there, and then you see teams like the Denver Broncos that pay a guy to leave, and they deal with the dead money on their cap, and they're still successful. How do they maneuver?
Because they have a rookie quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, you get to do that, but again, you're still burning money that's dead money, as you're talking about $24 million. So either way, I think for me, as we were talking about the kickers and getting him signed, I'm so much more interested in what's going on with George Pickens. I know we got to get Aubrey. We got to get him signed. We have to do that. But, man, this whole George Pickens deal, we cannot let this just continue to kick the can down the road.
We're not doing that. No,
cannot. I mean, that's just what my hope is.
Well, you will kick the can down the road with his contract. It'll be 5 years for an enormous amount of money, and the majority of it will be in the last 2 years in base salary.
So specifically, we know the franchise tag is coming. Right?
$28 million.
It's going to happen. So the quicker we could get there, the better for me psychologically. I think the fan base is just screaming.
Yeah, because we want to lock this in.
But does he?
I think he does.
At what cost?
You talking about the franchise tag?
No, I'm talking about a long-term deal. He will get the franchise tag.
Yeah.
But you want a long-term deal so that $28 million is not what his first year costs against the cap.
Of course.
And it's advantageous to the Cowboys to do a long-term deal.
Right.
But to get a long-term deal, he wants to check the market out. Now, what's somebody else going to offer him?
They're going to offer him the moon,
that
stars.
has $100 million.
They're going to try and give him everything.
Space, right?
But would you go to? I mean, you just think about where he came from in Pittsburgh, and I don't want to throw any other quarterbacks under the bus, but go to an organization that doesn't have a quarterback.
You would hope he understands that he just played with the best quarterback he ever has in the NFL and the best co-wide receiver he's ever had in the NFL. And I don't know if that kicks in and says, maybe this had something to do with what I did. And maybe I'm pretty well off here. Is it $5 million more that I need, or can I take $5 million less to sign and stay here?
So we always, in the streets, in the hood, we talk about, okay, you got this quarterback here making all this money. Why don't we just take some of that money from his salary?
Well, they will when they reconstruct his contract. But so as they did Zach Martin, day tomorrow he retires, you got to count for that money you pushed down the road.
Right.
So at some point, you got to pay the piper.
So I'm saying, like, you got Dak here. Dak's got, we're just talking about it in a casual way. Dak's got all this money. Just go ahead and just take some of his money and let's just give it to some guys who really deserve it. And, Dak doesn't mind, going in there and throwing his money out there on the table.
Did you give up money for Francis when they signed him?
So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Is that something that is
the
truly happening?
NFLPA would not let you take less money out of your contract.
Right.
So his base salary it's like 40-some million, 45, 49.
Right.
What they'll do is they'll pay him a restructure bonus, take about $20 million out of his cap, out of his base salary, and turn it into restructure bonus and prorate it over 5 years.
Yes.
So the money never goes away.
Right.
He gets it. The thing with Mahomes, everybody said, well, see, he took a pay cut.
Right.
No, he didn't take a pay cut.
Okay.
They just pushed it down the road and paid $20 million up front.
I always look at that like quarterbacks when they sign those big deals. Now they're like the board of trustees for the owners, right? Anytime you want to
play with your money.
Yeah, we're going to play with this. We're going to move this down. We're going to, hey, put this 3 years back. Or we're going to give you a lump sum right now. All of those things. And Dak, obviously, at this point in time in his career, probably understands that better than anybody, that window is closing.
That was 2 years ago.
Actually, when they do the contract, they put that in there, that they can automatically
because it's been done. It's been done so many times.
He's already done it twice.
Right.
This will be the third time.
Okay.
Now CD's got to do it. And then whoever else.
Yeah, because it's not always a quarterback.
No, it's your highest base salary.
Right.
Breaking news from Indianapolis, Stephen Jones meeting with the media as we speak, or at least 22 minutes ago, according to Joseph Hoyt. Stephen Jones said they're leaning toward franchise tagging Cowboys wide receiver George Pickens.
Shocking.
As we report. He said he expects that to be finalized in the next week to 10 days.
Come on, Stephen, let's go.
All right, so.
But they got to create the money by March 11th because that's
the start of the new year.
Yeah.
Just go print some more.
Go print?
Yeah.
Does anybody know where the printer is?
I'd like it.
There's a different printer.
Oh, okay.
There's a different
printer. I don't know about you guys, but obviously not.
Tell me, please. Are we going to talk about Christian Parker?
Yeah, talk Christian Parker, and I'm going to scan Twitter to see if Stephen Jones had any other breaking news as he met with
Talk to me about Stephen Parker.
Oh, Mick, I would love to hear what Mick thinks about Christian Parker.
I'm sorry, I don't know more.
I thought as first impressions at a press conference that he knocked it out of the park.
Yeah.
I thought he was awfully impressive. He didn't get a question he couldn't answer without throwing BS out there.
Right.
He was prepared. Now, he was obviously prepared for the interview face-to-face. He was prepared for the media interview because he anticipated, I'll guarantee you, what people were going to ask him, right? And it's like, I think it took 3 minutes before someone asked him, well, what kind of defense are you playing?
Right.
Meaning
Right.
4-3, 3-4, and he, boom, came right out and said, we're going to be multiple. 3-4, 4-3, 4-2-5, and 5 down. And I'm going, oh, boy. don't tell the Eagles what defense to prepare for.
I was going to say, you don't want to give out too much information
because no one knows.
Right.
And they'll hide things in preseason games. So the fact that he came out and talked multiple, he talked about the need for what a slot corner has to do. Well, he's got to be a good cornerback to cover a wide receiver, but he's got to play the run.
Right.
And then as a safety, if it's a safety, he's got to be able to play deep.
Right.
And he's got to play man or zone. And I loved his answer to that. It was like, well, you're going to play man or zone? He goes, well, if I got corners that play man, we will play man. If I got guys that have better vision in zone, then we'll play zone. And so every answer he had made sense to me. Common sense, right?
And that's the way you want to start. You don't want anyone coming out here and the base of what they're talking about is convoluted.
And one point when, they brought up the cornerbacks that he helped develop in Denver with the Eagles, and he came right out and said, great players make great coaches. Yeah. How do you argue with it? He's right. He's just sensible. And somebody asked him about being 34 years old. Does that help you? And he said, I don't know. I've always been 34 years. I've always been young. Right. That was the question. It reminded me of the Super Bowl with Doug Williams, right? About a black quarterback. And Doug said, I've always been a black quarterback. So I don't know.
Right.
And they asked him, being young, does that help you as a defensive coordinator? I don't know. I've always been young.
Yeah.
So to me, I was impressed.
That's like you always talk about iron sharpens iron. This kid has been around excellent coaches his entire career. And not just coaches as a player himself.
Right.
So you're talking about a guy that he wants players the way he played.
Right.
He wants smart players. You can have all the talents you want in the world, but you want a smart team that knows where you're going to be, where you're going to be, and where you're going to be. And we're going to attack it accordingly. That's the kind of what I saw from Philadelphia and some of the best secondaries in the NFL this year. They anticipated what the team was going to do, and they conquered them while they tried to do it.
Yeah, I think.
What'd you think?
Yeah, I from the moment he started talking, I loved him. I think that, he's bright. Those are all the things that I expected from him to when he got the job here.
Right,
you're not going to get this job unless you do.
He's already been prepped by the Cowboys.
He has the capacity for it. But then as I'm listening to him, and what's unfortunate about it as we've gone through a couple of these press conferences here with defensive coordinators, and your hopes, go up a little bit. And then as the season progresses, like, well, damn, whatever happened to what, But so to me, for him, Christian Parker, I'm like, man, you got to come in here already uncomfortable. You got to come in here already with that sense of urgency, knowing that you're already behind the 8 ball in this situation. Your defenses have to be successful. It's not going to be enough just for him to finish 30th in the league in defense. And I'm knocking on something, but I'm just saying you got to hit the ground running with this. And then when we look at whatever defense he plays, there has to be depth pieces added to this. You have to have talent added, as we've talked about before, because the Cowboys right now, before free agency, before the draft, you don't have it. So what is going to be in the cupboard for Christian Parker? They asked him questions about, will he get an opportunity to sign any free agencies from the team that he's coming from? Obviously he couldn't answer that because that's tampering. But at the same time, somebody's going to have to be able to deliver his message on the field, someone that has experience with that. And ever since, for me, it's like, who is Christian Parker on 3rd and long?
Right.
I don't know that, but he's saying right now, I feel like he's going to be in the mode of dictating to and not to the offense instead of catching. And, it's all about disguising your coverages, disguising your defense, all of those things. Last season, we were so bad. We tried to disguise
everything. We disguised it from ourselves. We didn't recognize our own defense.
So we can't.
That's a good one.
We can't have that again. So everything literally everything about him. But also the biggest thing for me is that he walks into a fraternity of African-American defensive coordinators, from the Ray Rhodes to the Romeo Cornells to the now D'Amico Ryans. That is who'd you say?
Lovie Smith.
Lovie Smith.
Yeah, man.
I mean, and the list goes on of the great defensive coordinators, and now he gets to put his name amongst that. I think that this guy, as you look at his career, is going to be on the fast track to potentially being a head coach in the NFL. And not to put too much weight on him, I just think that when you look at his career and you look at what he's done so far, that is the lane that he is in.
You can't put too much weight on it. Okay, that's he came in here uncomfortable. I'm pretty sure he's been uncomfortable his entire life.
That's right.
Because if he's always been the youngest, then that's what he's accustomed to. So that's how he lived. That's like me. I grew up playing against older kids. You just always know that you're going to play against older kids. That's just the way it is.
I don't think it's a coincidence that they hired a defensive coordinator who made his way in the NFL as a secondary coach, cornerback coach. They hired 2 other assistants as a secondary coach who are cornerback coaches. So they've almost tripled the attention. And they've done the same,
like we did with our running game.
And they did the same thing at linebacker. They've got an inside linebacker coach, an outside linebacker coach, and an assistant linebacker coach. Yeah. So they have doubled down on the positions of serious need. The other thing, I don't know if I told you guys, I joked about it. I said, if I'm the defensive coordinator and they hired me, in my contract, I want it specified that those 2 first-round picks are defensive players.
Wow.
Tongue-in-cheek. Yeah. Because that ain't going to happen.
Yeah.
Somebody asked him, did Jerry Jones tell you that the 2 first-round picks will be defensive players? And or promise you? And he said he did not. Somebody said, but do you want the first 2 picks as defensive players? Absolutely. Yeah. So
he's a defensive man. Yeah.
He just had all the right answers, and with a smile, if he needed a smile. I talked to him as he walked off, and said, so when you get a job like this, do you interview and say, here's the coaches I would like to hire? These are the guys. He goes, oh, absolutely. You got to have that all planned out, right? You got to know that there are guys out there that you know that you want to hire, and you tell them, this is what I want to do. Jack Del Rio told me that when he was the linebackers coach, Baltimore, and he got an interview with Jacksonville for the head coaching job. Who hires a linebacker coach for a head coaching job back in probably 2000 or so, something like. Billick was the head coach at Baltimore. And Billick told him, you go in for this interview and you interview like you're the head coach. You better have it all planned out. So he goes in, interviews. He's got one of these PowerPoint things. He gives him this whole big spiel, right? He got the job. He was shocked because he didn't think he had a chance in hell, right? But he came in prepared, told him what he would do. This is my system. And I would imagine that's what this kid did. And I called him a kid, 34 years old, right? He's a kid, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, I was impressed. Now he needs players. Yeah. As I wrote, he's not a magician.
Well, I mean, good thing about it is, the bar is low as hell. I mean, you can't just can't do much work.
Wow. He's got a great opportunity. He's got a great opportunity.
You can't go lower. Improve this defense. Yeah, I bet you can. Yeah.
You can't go lower than 32nd in scoring defense.
So what did you think, real quick?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I agree wholeheartedly with it. And I just hope he's heavily involved in deciding who they're drafting in the secondary because he did. If he was involved with Howie Roseman in Philadelphia the last couple of years with the selection of Quinyon Mitchell in the first round year before last, and Cooper DeJean, Cowboys are in good shape.
He brought
into this
White
draft.
Back into cornerbacks. No one's done that. I like it.
All right. That does it. We're out of time. We're past time.
We're
over.
Okay.
Like, hey,
and,
we can play this position.
You know what we're going to do next Monday?
There's no one knocking on our door.
Oh, what we doing?
Well,
oh, wow. Hey, man, I
Producer
gotta go
Supreme
vote.
is-
Let's get out of here.
Okay, all right.
What do we have next Monday? You said
next Monday we'll be wrapping up the combine. That's your homework assignment.
We gotta watch?
You have to watch the on-field drills.
Okay.
Good luck
And
with that, guys.
come away with one or two defensive guys you want to draft in the first round because you got 2 picks in the first round. So it's not 1 or 2; it's 2 defensive guys you want to draft.
I need reading material. Someone should supply it.
You want me to just send you some?
Yes, thank you.
There you go.
There's a lot of mock
I was waiting on
drafts.
Bill to step up and
Actually,
say something.
I saw one story. They were analyzing how many players probably would have first round grades before the combine, and he had 11.
11 with first round grades.
Normally, it's around 13.
And of course,
15.
they got 11 with first round grades. The Cowboys pick at 12. All right, we'll see you again next Monday at 11 here on Mick Shots.
Go Cowboys.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?